Hi, this is Zach Meir with the US Chartbreakers here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Thursday, the 27th of April. And disappointment in the air after the failure for this market to get through that resistance line there from August. I suppose that's the second main time we failed at that line. The obvious support back at the 50-day moving average around 40.30. Below that, risks filling that gap up from late March and also hitting the 200-day line at 39.63. But ideally, we just bounce off the 50-day line. Let's see if the market's strong enough to do that. In the unlikely event of an end-of-day close through 41.50, then we're looking at the top of that rising trend channel from October as high as 42.50 by the end of next month. Moving on to the stocks, and quite a few favorites in here today, which favorites means stocks we've previously covered and which have then rallied after that. Here we've got BigBear AI, which has bounced off the floor of that rising trend channel. Obviously, there was a bull trap through the $3.70 area just the other week, but we've closed above the 50-day moving average at $2.70, let's call it, and above that, looking for a retest of the $3.60 area over the next couple of weeks. Big picture target here, obviously up to $7 at the top of that rising trend channel, but at the moment that looks as though it's a month or two away. On to a more stable looking situation, let's say. Cleanspark here, we've got this bull flag here, trading up to the initial target we had there around $4, and above that looking for this stock to head up as high as $5.70 at that September resistance line projection. Bull argument in place, I suppose, really while we're above the 200-day moving average at $3.20, but you can see that so far the shares bounced off February resistance around the $3.70 area, so that looks like a better or improving situation at Cleanspark. Stock which I covered just a couple of days ago is Cryo-cell, and cool sounding name and very cool sounding cool looking price action. Here we've broken through the main resistance there from the turn of the year, so around $4.80. Above that, looking for up to $7.50, which was resistance on the way down for the stock back in September. If you're ambitious about the situation, then you'd be looking for quite a big target here, actually up towards $9, the top of that broadening triangle that I'm just mapping out at the moment. That's been in place since about this time last year, and the idea really is that we stay above the 200-day moving average at $5 and power our way towards the top of that triangle. Let's see if the shares can deliver the goods. On to Datadog, which is cool, another cool sounding name. Here we've gapped up after recent weakness in the shares, so a bit of a handbrake turn on the price action, which is always good. The only thing missing, I suppose, at the moment is we close above the 50-day moving average at $71. If we can do that, then we'd be looking for up to the 200-day line at $82 over the following month. Don't really want to see the shares back below the floor of the gap there at $65, which they left earlier this week. On to another recent alumni, which has done well, Fisker rather. Here you can see that we've gapped up quite strongly, closed above the resistance on the way down around $5.80, and above that we're looking for the 200-day moving average at $7.50 as soon as the end of next month. But if you're cautious, you wait for an end-of-day close through that 50-day line, which is just around the $6.10 level. That should hopefully be achieved over the next few sessions. On to a new name, and here you can see that Intuitive Machines is trying to bounce back. Obviously a rather horrible chart over the recent past. Probably what we're looking for here is for the shares to maintain support above the previous day's resistance. That was around the $8.70 area. Above that, looking for the 200-day moving average at $11.50 or so over the next week or two. But obviously that's quite a volatile situation. Perhaps less volatile is the next stock, which is Lucid. Here you can see that we're also trying to turn around after recent lows. We've got the old support there from back in January, which was around the $7.50 level. Want to see an end-of-day close above that to give us an $8.30 target at the 50-day moving average over the next couple of weeks. Stock which has been included here quite a few times in the recent past, and has generally delivered the goods for the bulls is Presto Automation. You can see the shares starting to take off, I think, within that little consolidation that we've had above the 50-day moving average. That's around $2.30. Above that, we're looking for another test of the 200-day line at $4.30, and then as high as $6.40 by the end of next month at the top of that late 2022 broadening triangle. But it's very impressive to see shares with a bear trap gap reversal retain that push above the 50-day line. Another decent situation that we've covered many times here before is SAI Tech. Here, very volatile in the current range, but I suppose the main aspect here is that we're holding above the 200-day line there around $3.10. Above that, we're looking for the shares to break back and retest the April resistance around $7, perhaps as soon as sometime over the next month. Just a few stocks to go now. First one is Snowflake, which has been able to gap up after another sort of handbrake turn type of situation. Above the 50-day moving average at $1.45, we're looking for a retest of April resistance through $1.57 over the next 2 to 3 weeks, and hopefully a little bit sooner. On to the second last stock of the day, Vertiv Holdings. And here we've had a gap through the rising 200-day moving average, closing just below the 50-day line at $14. Want to see an end-of-day close above that 50-day line to give us a move back up to March resistance at $16 plus over the next 2 to 4 weeks. But the key here is staying above that 200-day moving average, rising around $13.15. Last contender of the day is Vyne Therapeutics, and here we've had a beautiful break through the 200-day moving average, sort of mid-move consolidation and then breaking higher above $5, which we are comfortably now, which was the initial April resistance, looking for the top of that rising trend channel from September as high as $8 as soon as the end of next month, and beautiful gap through the 50-day line and then breaking the high of that day as well. So looking very encouraging there at Vyne Therapeutics at the moment. That's it from me today. More updates tomorrow.